is 7 o'clock, and if it is 7 o'clock on the last Saturday of the month, it's all happening at Odyssey. Welcome to the Bliss Catchers. This is edition number 36, and we are in the 4th year of this amazing program. This program would not be possible without the support of a team that works quietly behind the scenes to put this together month on month, and that team is headed by Ashwin of Odyssey. Thank you, Ashwin, for joining us. Thank you, Bharatanatyam and team, for getting this show up for us every month for Vani and for me, and for all our beautiful guests. The Bliss Catchers is a program that's celebrating life. வாழ்க்கையை முழுமையா எப்படி ரசிக்கிறது, அதுதான் நம்மளுடைய Bliss Catchers உடைய ஜர்னிலேருந்து நம்ம கற்றுக்க முடியும். Each Bliss Catcher that comes here, and you can see all of them over the last 3 seasons, they are here, plus we've had January and February as well. So I think between Jagyaseni and Lalita, we would be counting somewhere in the 70s. Our Bliss Catchers number would be around 70 plus. So each Bliss Catcher here comes and shares their journey of how it is possible to live in this world and live a life that's meaningful and full of happiness. The Bliss Catcher concept was inspired by what a mythologist and famous writer, philosopher, an American by the name Joseph Campbell had to say. He said, follow your bliss. Don't worry about what you are doing with the rest of your life. When you follow your bliss, doors will open. The way I have understood this, the way I have personally internalized this is that there are many ways of living life, but the most popular way that the world has conditioned us all to believe in is that earning a living is very important. எல்லாரும் இன்னொருத்தரை பார்த்து எவ்வளவு சம்பாதிக்கிறாங்க முதல்ல கேட்பாங்க. எங்க வேலை செய்யறா, என்ன சம்பாதிக்கிறீங்க? That's the first threshold of inquiry. That's the way we are conditioned. Now when you do that, there are chances you may be doing what you love doing and earning and living out of it, which is no problem. But a large population, a large mass of the population is just earning a living. But they're very unhappy because they're not doing what they're liking, they're not doing what they're loving. And Campbell, Joseph Campbell says that live, don't just earn a living. Live by following your bliss. Bhayapadada, if you are following your bliss, உனக்காக கதவுகள் திறக்கும். அந்த கதவுகள் திறந்து, it will connect you to people which will make you get closer and closer to whatever your dream you have. So that's the concept behind Bliss Catchers. And we've been doing this series, Vani and I have been curating this series for the last few years now, because we ourselves have been following our bliss. It's not that we don't have challenges in our life. In fact, for the last decade or so, we have been going through a bankruptcy. We're going through a very difficult time in our life in the material sense. But in this time, how to be happy and content while living money. This is a lesson we have learned. And we are sharing this experience with audiences that care to pause and reflect. So I wrote my book, Fall Like a Rose Petal, in 2014. Then one thing led to another. People started calling me for talks. We started curating programs like the Bliss Catchers, and we now curate 4 programs across the city of Chennai every month in order to share our experiences and invite people like my guest this evening to share their journeys. All our focus is around how to inspire happiness. That's become our life's purpose. So that's the background to the Bliss Catchers, and that's the background to why Vani and I curate this program series. It gives us great joy, otherwise we won't be doing this. we are doing this only because it gives us a fantastic opportunity to be useful at a time when success is elusive. Success enga kaiyila varamatingirudhu. Okay, material success varamatingirudhu. Ana mulumeya vaazha kathukku. Be very happy and content with what is there. And without a program like Bliss Catchers, we would not have ever met two wonderful ladies who are my guests today, Dr.Lalita Santanam and the young Jagyaseni Chatterjee. I take this opportunity on behalf of all of you to welcome them both here. And please be seated. I'll call you, let me finish the introductions. I'll call you both very shortly. I take a little time to introduce my guests because I want you to feel the way Vani and I feel when we connected with them. So, my first encounter with Jagyaseni was through the newspaper. I have been a journalist myself, so I have this habit of looking for who has written a story, if I like the story. And I've often seen Jagyaseni's bylines in the Hindu. And I thought she was a journalist. And then she reached out to me on Facebook, introduced herself as a dancer. So I thought to myself, she's a journalist who's possibly a dancer, or she's a dancer who's possibly a journalist. And I just left it there. I said hi. And I normally don't add people on Facebook that I personally don't know, whom I have not met. But for some reason I decided to add Jagyaseni. And thankfully I added her. Because a few months after we got connected on Facebook, I saw a post by Jagyaseni which said that she survived Chennai with just 17 rupees with her. Now that connected here straight away. Because Vani and I have not just survived Chennai. We have lived through a decade of bankruptcy. We've lived 4 months in this city without a single penny, not even a rupee. And Ashok is my neighbor. He wouldn't know this part of the story, but you know that's how dramatic our life has been. So I could connect with Jagyaseni's story, and I became curious. So we set up a coffee meeting. We met at Starbucks, and we heard her story. She was in love with dance from the age of 5, with Bharatanatyam especially, and despite her being raised in Calcutta, her interest in Bharatanatyam interested us. We became very curious. She has a master's in human rights. She made a couple of visits to Chennai to learn from a great master, Professor C.V. Chandrasekhar. Then she enrolled herself at the Kuchipudi Arts Academy and lived in Chennai for 18 months learning Kuchipudi. And then for some reason she left Chennai, and we'll explore all those reasons and those stories behind what I'm telling you in the conversation with Jagyaseni. She left Chennai, she came right back to look for a guru for her who can teach her Bharatanatyam. And that guru happens to be with us today, Dr. Lakshmi Ramaswamy, who took her, thank you for joining us, ma'am, thank you so much. She took her in her fold and has helped Jagyaseni grow, evolve and blossom into the dancer that she is. And on the side, Jagyaseni has also completed her master's in Bharatanatyam from the Madras University, and she has applied for her PhD, or she is enrolled for her PhD, which is based on Nayikas and Gitanjali. Am I right? So, fascinating story Jagyaseni has got. She has also been writing on the side, and we'll talk about that part of her journey as well. But most importantly, Jagyaseni displays a rare trait. A rare trait. She is a very strong, resilient person. A very strong person. She's got a lot of strength. That's Jagyaseni for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Dr. Lalita and I and Vani, we connected again through the newspaper. One day I was flipping through the Times of India and I saw a headline which said, "From police admin to Raga Alapa." And I said, that's like poles apart. How can this be true? And I read the story, and it was about this lady who had gone on to do her PhD well after the age of 40. And somewhere between 2007, when she enrolled for a PhD, which is on teaching methods of Raga Alapana, and completed it in 2014. But somewhere in between all this, she quit a stable government job. People would give an arm and a leg for a government job. And she quit it at a time when she should be actually reaping pension benefits, when she should actually be getting a higher posting, when she should actually be, looking for settling down in life. But that is the time when she takes a big risk, which is risk in the real world sense, but she followed her bliss. And that story excited us. And we said, we must connect with Lalita. So we reached out to her. We could not meet initially because of our schedules. So we set up a WhatsApp video call, got introduced to her. And let me tell you, that conversation on that WhatsApp video call was very, very important for me and for Mani, because she talked about things that are very close to our heart. She said, for me, music is the truth. For me, music is a spiritual journey. And she said that she is not pursuing music. ஏதோ ஒன்று அடையணுங்கிறதுக்காக நான் வந்து மியூசிக்கை ஃபாலோ பண்ணேன். அதில் தான் நான் முழுமையாக என்ன நான் பார்க்குறேன். I see my true self in that. And when she talked about it in that perspective, she shared that perspective with Vani and me. We were completely convinced. Here is our Bliss Catcher. But of course, Bliss Catcher, the Bliss Catchers is a forward curated series. We are in March of 2018, and we already curated up to October 2018. So when we spoke to Lalita, it was October of 2017, and it took us a while to schedule the session and have her here. So that's our journey with both the ladies. Without Bliss Catchers, we would not have met them. So I want to tell you why Bliss Catchers is so important for Vani and me. A, it gives us an opportunity to do something meaningful. B, it gives us beautiful guests to be in conversation with. So on that note, let me invite you now. Now you may come, ladies. Okay? Dr.Lalita Santanam and Jagyaseni. Thank you so much. Here are your mics. For those of you, there are many people here who are our regular guests in the audience. But for those of you who are here for the first time, the format is very simple. We will have a conversation between the three of us. We'll keep going between the stories of Jagyaseni and Lalita back and forth. Somewhere in the middle, around 7:40, and I'm timing it here, around 7:40, I will take a midway break where I will ask you questions. So the audience will be asked questions. One question on Dr. Lalita and one question on Jagyaseni. And whoever answers the question right, okay? And families, let me think of the questions. Families can answer, okay? Families can answer. So, your family member answer pannalam. And people who answered the question right get this beautiful mug. This is the Bliss Catcher mug that Odyssey has put together. You get this Bliss Catcher mug to take home, and your coffee will definitely taste very different tomorrow. I can assure you. Okay? At 7:45, we resume the session, continue the conversation between us, and we close our conversation around 8:05, 8:10. When we are finished with our conversation, we open the floor for questions from the audience. You can interact with the guests. Then the guests ask you their quiz questions. And again, for the right answers, you get to win the Bliss Catcher mug. So totally, we have 4 mugs going away today. Just a note of caution, when we hit the Q&A segment, when we come to the segment where you can ask questions, I will repeat this request again, but please stay with the subject being discussed, which is the journey of the two guests. Do not go beyond that. Last time we had an issue. Those of you who were here last time may have missed what happened. We had a guest who runs a dairy farm, and we had animal rights activists asking him questions about that, and we had to disallow those questions, and it became quite a big issue after the program was over. So I'm very clear this is a show focused on bliss and on the life journeys of my guests. So keep your questions in focus there. Okay? So how are you feeling, both of you? Feeling good?
Fantastic.
Yes? Happy to be here?
Yes, extremely, and thank you, Vani and AVIS, for inviting me. It's absolutely awesome. I never knew that I would get an opportunity to share my journey.
Thank you, thank you. Yours is a fascinating journey, and so is yours, Lalita. So, thank you for coming.
This is the first time I'm going to reveal the thoughts of full
of the journey.
Yeah.
Okay. கண்டிப்பாக உங்க வாழ்க்கையில நடந்த சம்பவங்கள்ல உங்க ஜர்னில வந்த அனுபவங்கள் வந்து கண்டிப்பாக I'm sure people in the audience are going to be inspired. Both your stories are very powerful. I don't know, or not as Vani, despite having met you people a couple of times, I don't think we know the journey completely, so this is the chance to do that. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Let me start with Jagyaseni first. Jagyaseni, when we met and we talked about your journey, the point that struck me most was that you said that you were drawn to dance at an early age of 5.
Yes.
And considering that you are from Calcutta, okay, I had a question as to why a person, a Bengali from Calcutta, was drawn to Bharatanatyam. To the extent that you found a local guru to teach you Bharatanatyam in Calcutta. Why Bharatanatyam? What about the dance form? I know at the age of 5 you cannot describe these things, but when you reflect back now, what do you think drew you to the art form?
Yes, I must say that my mother is the culprit, because she's the one who decided that I must learn Bharatanatyam, which is far away from Tamil Nadu, and not Odyssey, which is just right next, Orissa. I think she wanted, because she believed that Bharatanatyam is the most sort of the Indian classical dance, and even before I was born, I think she wanted a daughter, and she definitely wanted the daughter to do something to do with arts and not just restrict to academics. And she exposed me to a variety, painting, arts, music, everything, and it was her decision completely. I really did not have any choice but to follow. Eventually, I realized that everybody was dancing Bharatanatyam, so okay fine, let me just take it forward. For me, dance was Bharatanatyam. I was not exposed to a lot of dances there anyway. Like for example, Kuchipudi did not exist in Kolkata. So I just took it up. Besides, my ambience had a lot of arts and theatre. My mother comes from a theatre background. I was exposed to drama and theatre, and I think Bharatanatyam is a combination of a lot of expressions, a lot of rhythm, and I simply just went by the water.
You went with the flow.
Yes,
you went with the
yes.
flow. When you look back, is there a specific moment in your life that you can recollect when you felt, even with the guru in Kolkata, much before you came into contact with Dr.Lakshmi Ramaswamy or Professor Chatterjee, even before all that, as a young, maybe teenager, do you recollect a moment when you felt that this is where you belong? How was that moment? Can you share that?
Yes, I don't know why that moment came to me, but I remember I was 5 and we were at a dinner table conversation, and my brother, who's 10 years older than me, asked me, what do you want to become? And when I look back now, I wonder why did he even ask a 5-year-old this kind of a question. I was very bold and I immediately answered dancer. And he said, where do you want to dance? He didn't ask why dance, he said where do you want to dance? At that time my geographical knowledge just had Kolkata, America and London, because America and London, my cousins were staying there and I was just aware of these 2 places. So I said that. And I had no clue how it would go, but because I had told him that, I knew I had to follow that. And I just kept on doing whatever I had to do to pursue Bharatanatyam.
That's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
So in a way, very innocently, it might appear very naive, it might appear very innocent, it might appear very childlike, not childish, but very childlike to have thought that way. But that thought, when you sit back, connects very strongly.
I can still recall completely the dinner table, us three of us sitting, and he's asking me the question, and it gives me goosebumps now, and I still wonder why Bharatanatyam, why didn't I choose music, why didn't I say like Robindra Songit or painting or for anything. But there must be some, maybe there is a purpose I'm yet to find.
Or maybe it just found you, long back, right? So that's interesting. I want us to pick up a small learning here. In some form or the other, life keeps on happening to us the way we are destined to travel in a particular direction. We may not know that when it is happening to us. Sometimes it may happen through a catharsis, like it happened to Vani and me. I can see Ramaswamy pointing out to Lakshmi there. So I'm sure in your own ways you will be able to connect. When things happen to you, you are not able to connect. And that's where I agree with Steve Jobs. You can only connect the dots backwards, right? Let's go on. I am doubly curious now. If Bharatanatyam was kind of entrenched in your subconscious, okay, why would you pursue a master's in human rights? Something I failed to, mention when the introductions were on is that she holds a master's in human rights and from Calcutta University, and she's a university topper. So why would you do that and not take up Bharatanatyam or dance in some form for academic study then?
On a lighter note, I think I was always a fighter. So I felt human rights would be the best way to equip myself to fight more. Well, but I think I was pursuing honours in geography from Loreto College, and my past subject was human rights. When I wanted to do a master's, I realized geography needed a lot of hard work, lot of drawing, and that would take away my dance timing. Yet I wanted to take up something and do a master's degree simply because there wasn't anyone in my family who had done anything after graduation and in terms of academics. So I said, okay, why not? And things were going smooth, secured life in general with my mama and brother, and let me pursue. So I took up human rights, and another point was I felt that human rights was an international subject where I could probably get an exposure to work with the UN. So that time I had these high-flying dreams that I could also take it forward, and human rights was a new subject. It fascinated me. I was curious to know the world, and most importantly, it did not have a syllabus restricted to books. So I didn't have to mark up. This was my weak point. Anything I could be aware of what is happening and still say the examination. It's just that, and that's what happened. On the day of my examination, I did not know that there were some guidebooks that people were doing, because all my university life, I was playing table tennis. And I got silver medals in that. I was very happy with that. And when I went to the examination, I realized that, oh no, there were some guidebooks, but I used my general knowledge. That I think paid off because I topped.
You topped the university. So that's interesting. There is that fighter who's inclined idealistically towards human rights, and then there is this person who's having a lot of fun playing table tennis, not reading the guidebooks, and then going on and topping the university. But I'm still curious, how does Bharatanatyam fit into all this when you could have taken your master's and moved forward in that line of human rights? But we'll come back to that after we hear a bit of Lalita's story. Okay? So we'll park Jagyaseni's story for a brief bit and start the conversation with Lalita. So Lalita, you're from Tanjavur district, and you hail from a village there, right? Malapura. Okay. So on the Gramathula you valandinga. Your early childhood was there. So music appolende ungalku aarvama irundha, and appo vandu inga 5 years la or Bharatanatyam dancer nata unga brother kitta kevanga oru arikai vittirukanga. அந்த மாதிரி, did you make a proclamation அந்த மாதிரி வயசுல, did you have any ambitions in your mind that you will be a musician ever in your life?
No, not at all. Actually எனக்கு விளையாடுறது மட்டும் தான் பிடிக்கும். And அவங்க மாதிரி படிக்கலாம் கிடையாது. I'll read everything, the books, Tamil, அதெல்லாம் படிச்சு என் மைண்ட்ல இருக்குங்கிறது I just came to know when I started my compositions. அப்பதான் தமிழ்ல நிறைய வருது. எல்லா that is how to say knowledge I could realize. சின்ன வயசுல படிச்சதெல்லாம் it has been saved in my subconscious. But little bit lazy, எழுத மாட்டேன். இது போதும், எக்ஸாம்ல போய் இது போதும் அப்படின்னு முடிச்சுட்டு வந்துடுவேன். ஸோ என்ன விளையாடணும், அந்த டைமும் விளையாடணும். ஸோ music was there because that time I'm talking about 25 years back. அப்போ மீடியா கிடையாது, டிவி கிடையாது, ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. ரேடியோ ஸ்ருதிலயம் தான் கேட்கலாம். It will be joking now. 30 years வரைக்கும். Even I came to Chennai at my 19. After that also, at 30 years varaikkum, who is Shivaji, who is M.J. Ramachandran, I did not know.
You did not?
Yeah. Because appa cinema pakka thirumi paakura vida maatanga. So he is brought up and the focus, automatic focus. Edukku oru strain panni focus pannala. So and oru distraction illama irundhathu. But music was there in my family. அதான் எல்லா பிராமின் ஃபேமிலிலையும் அந்த ரெகுலரா ஒரு 10 years வரைக்கும் மியூசிக் டீச் பண்ணுவோம். அந்த மாதிரி தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. பட் நாட் டு மீ. ஓகே, நாட் டு யூ. யா பட் உங்களுக்கு அந்த இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சஸ் இருக்கு. அது கேப்பேன். பிகாஸ் ஐ கேள்வி ஞானம். ஓகே. பட் ஐ ஹேட் மை நாலேஜ். I could find out ragas. That's all. And the Shruti Layam on போடுவாங்க இல்லையா, I will listen to it. Radio. That is it will last about around 30 to 40 minutes. அது மட்டும் தான் வீட்ல. Yeah, அது மட்டும் தான் வீட்ல போடுவாங்களே. Okay. Oh, okay. Radio will be there.
And only that program will be played.
We cannot watch anything. We cannot listen to anything else.
Okay.
அதனால அந்த ஒரு
So music was there somewhere in the background.
Yeah.
But was not the focal point. It was not the center point. Then what happens? Your father, I think when we met, you told us that your father was in the police force.
Yeah.
He was a police officer. And then he passed away. So, அவர் இறந்து போனதுல தான் உங்களுக்கு இந்த போலீஸ் உத்தியோகம் கிடைச்சதுன்னு நீங்க சொன்னீங்க. அதை கொஞ்சம் விளக்க முடியுமா? அந்த நேரத்துல உங்களுக்கு வயசு என்னவா இருந்தது? எதுக்காக நீங்க அவ்வளவு சின்ன வயசுல வேலையை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணீங்க? What was the family circumstances then?
I have to do. They are supposed to do. Because எனக்கு வந்து we are 5 sisters and 1 brother. I'm the fourth one. And only one sister தான் எனக்கு மேரேஜ் ஆயிருந்தது அப்போ. மிச்ச பேரெல்லாம் at the age of getting married. But I was doing, when I was doing second year degree of mine, Papa passed away. So I had to go for a job. After getting permission from my college, I finished my degree by attending the examination. Third year exam mattum panni I could finish the degree. After that,
so வேலைக்கு நீங்க காலேஜ்ல இருக்கும்போதே ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டீங்க. You started second year you went to work. Okay, and this
at
was
the age of 19.
At the age of 19. And this was in Tanjavur?
No, I had to join at Chennai.
You had to move to Chennai.
Yeah.
So the posting was in Chennai.
Amma and sister brother, they were there.
Okay.
At Bharatanatyam.
Okay.
And that is my town.
Okay.
Bharatanatyam, I only moved with my elder sister.
Okay.
She only
brought you to Chennai. So you joined the police department in Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay. அப்ப நீங்க ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது எந்த லெவல்ல ஜாயின் பண்ணீங்க?
As a typist.
As a typist.
Yeah.
Okay. I think very few of us, our generation alone, will remember typists. Right? I don't think today's generation will even understand.
That time everyone will go for typing
exams,
stenography.
Okay.
And ambition la ungala idu pananum idva aganum illa kedayadu. My sister will go, so I will also go. Seri padipom avladha adu therinju vechikalam.
So அப்படி தெரிஞ்சு வச்சிட்ட ஒரு ஸ்கில் வந்து உங்களுக்கு இந்த வேலையில யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது. Okay.
Because I was particular about not going for uniform service. I didn't like. So I opted for a ministerial job.
Okay. And you joined as a typist in the police department. Okay. ஸோ அப்போ நீங்கள் ஜாயின் பண்ணும்போது நீங்கள் வந்து டிப்பிக்கலாக ஒரு உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு சூழ்நிலையில் வேர் ஃபேமிலியுடைய ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டிஸ் இருக்கும் ஒரு பக்கம், இன்னொரு பக்கம் வேலையுடைய ப்ரெஷர்ஸ் இருக்கலாம். ஓகே, அண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷனில் இருக்கிறவங்க வந்து அதுலேயே முழுகிடுவாங்களே. எப்படி மியூசிக் திரும்பி உங்கள் லைஃப்பில் வந்தது, இல்லை மியூசிக் உங்களை தேடி வந்ததா நீங்கள் மியூசிக்கை தேடி போனீங்க?
ஆக்சுவலி எனக்கு வந்து இதெல்லாம் நான் விளையாடிட்டே இருந்தாலும் மனசுக்குள்ளே நீங்கள் சொல்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு நமக்கு பிளிஸ் கொடுக்கக்கூடியது லைக் ஷீட்டோல் அந்த ஒரு டான்ஸ் அவளுக்கு இருந்தால் போல எனக்கு வந்து சம்திங் வி ஹவ் டு. ஏன்னா அப்போல்லாம் வந்து தேவர் நோ ஸ்கோப் ஃபார் மியூசிக் எனி ஆர்ட் ஃபார்ம் தட் 25 years பேக். ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட்டு நம்மளோட ப்ரொஃபஷன் ஏதானு ஒன்று இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் எப்படி இருக்கணும்னா அந்த சோஷியல் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு வந்து எவ்ரி திங் ஷுட் பி பர்ஃபெக்ட், எவ்ரி ஒன் ஷுட் பி குட். அந்த பொய் இல்லாமல் அந்த ஏமாத்துறது சீட்டிங்லாம் இல்லாமல் ஒரு சொசைட்டி இருக்கணும். அதுக்கு நம்ம ஏதான கொண்டு வந்தே ஆகணும். அந்த மாதிரி அது ஒரு கொஞ்சம் லிட்டில் பிட் க்ரீடி, கொஞ்சம் பாஸ் லெவலில் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டு ஐ அட்டெம்ப்டட் ஃபார் சிவில் சர்வீசஸ். பட் ஐ குடன்ட் கெட் த்ரூ. அதெல்லாம் முடிச்சுட்டு சரி நமக்கு தான் நாலேஜ் இருக்குது, மியூசிக் அப்புறம் வச்சுக்கலாம் சொல்லி லேட்டர் பார்த்துட்டு அதை ரிலேட்டு இங்கே இதில் படிச்சிருந்தேன். ஆஃபீஸில் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு ஐ வாஸ் ப்ரிப்பேரிங் ஃபார் சிவில் சர்வீசஸ்.
ஓகே, ஸோ how did மியூசிக்ல உங்களுக்கு திரும்ப ஆர்வம் எப்படி வந்தது, எந்த வயசுல வந்தது, எப்படி வந்தது?
அதுதான் இல்லை, இட் வாஸ் தேர் ஆல்வேஸ். அது இல்லை ஆயிடுது, சிவில் சர்வீஸ் இல்லை. ஸோ பை த டைம் 5 years
போய் படிச்சிங்களா நீங்கள் மியூசிக்
இன்ஸ்டியூட்டில்? மியூசிக் வந்துட்டு 20 years தான் நான் வந்து ராஜா நம்மளை மண்டபத்தில் தான் நான் ஜாயின் பண்ணேன் ஈவினிங். பிகாஸ் ஐ குடன்ட் அஃபோர்ட் டு பேயிங் எனி மியூசிக் டீச்சர்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி. ஸோ ஈவினிங் காலேஜ்.
அப்போ எந்த காரணத்தினால நீங்கள் சரி மியூசிக் படிக்கலாம், ராஜா அண்ணாமலை மன்றத்தில் போய் ஜாயின் பண்ணலாம், எப்படி அந்த ஒரு ஆர்வம் வந்து?
சிவில் சர்வீசஸ் போயிடுச்சு, இனிமே எழுத முடியாது, வேற ஏதாவது பண்ணணும். பட் இந்த ஜாப் வந்து இட் வாஸ் நாட் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபைட். ஏன்னா அது வந்து நான் ஒரு காம்படிட்டிவ் எக்ஸாம் எழுதி அந்த மாதிரி ஐ குடன்ட் கெட் இட். அப்பா இறந்துட்டாங்க, அதுக்காக அவங்க அந்த கம்பேஷனட் கிரவுண்டில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. பட் என்னோட ஒரிஜினல் டேலண்ட் நாலேஜ் வச்சு நான் அதை வாங்கலை. ஸோ எனக்கு வேறு என்னத்தில் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்குது சொல்லிட்டு ஐ ஷுட் டூ சம்திங். தென் இந்த சோஷியல் காஸ்ட் தான் அதுக்கு எப்படி பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஆஃப்டர் சிவில் சர்வீசஸ் போயாச்சா, சரி வேறு எதாவது எடுக்கலாம் பார்த்தேன். ஸோ ஏஜ் லிமிட் இல்லாது ஓகே மியூசிக் நமக்கே இருக்குது, அதுக்கே போகலாம்.
ஸோ ஐ திங்க் what I'm picking up is a fascinating insight. Sometimes you will be very restless with what you are doing in life. Her restlessness, although she's not able to articulate it as I've understood it, her restlessness came from the fact that she got the job on compassionate grounds. She didn't get the job for who Lalita is. And she tried to get into the civil services because she felt that she could contribute to the upliftment of society by being a straightforward, upright officer in the civil services. Correct, Lalita? And அதுவே இல்லாதக்கான போது அந்த ரெஸ்ட்லெஸ்னஸை சேனலைஸ் பண்ணி ராஜா அண்ணாமலை மன்றத்தில் மியூசிக் கற்றுக்கிறதுக்கு, பிகாஸ் ஷி குட் நாட் அஃபோர்ட் தி ஃபீஸ் ஆஃப் அ மியூசிக் டீச்சர், ஷி என்ரோல்ட் ஃபார் லேர்னிங் மியூசிக் பிகாஸ் that she felt was something that she could connect with. It's fascinating. ரொம்ப அற்புதமான சாய்ஸ் அது. And you were only, what was your age at that time?
25.
So around 25 is when you seriously start learning music.
Yeah.
Okay. நிறைய பேர் கச்சேரி பண்ற நேரத்துல நீங்க மியூசிக் படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சீங்க.
I didn't think about my age.
It's a very important learning there. Don't think about your age. It's never too late to do anything. It's never too late to do anything. One more question. நீங்க இந்த மியூசிக் படிக்க உங்களுடைய there is I don't know, I'm not a singer, so but I do believe that like in any art form, any education, there are different levels. Okay, நீங்க இதுல தான் உங்களுக்கு சந்தோஷமும் திருப்தியும் கிடைக்கிறதுங்கிறது எப்போ உணர்ந்தீங்க?
இது வந்து எனக்கு பிகினிங்லேருந்தே எது நான் வந்து வாட் எவர் ஐ ட்ரை But from the beginning, சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே சொல்கிறேன், அப்போலேருந்தே எனக்கு அந்த மியூசிக் will give some joy for me.
Okay.
ஸோ அதை வந்து அதான் அந்த அப்போ இருந்த சுச்சுவேஷன் இப்போ இருக்க போல் அந்த ஒரு ஹோப் இல்லை, அந்த ஒரு மீடியா இல்லாததுனால அதில் ஒரு என்ன சொல்கிறது, தேவையான ஸ்கோப். ஸோ நமக்கு ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷன் வேணும் தனியாக, மியூசிக் வில் ஆல்வேஸ் பி தேர் வித் மீ அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு மைண்ட் செட்டில் இருந்தேன். ஆஃப்டர் 30 years ஆஃப் மை ஏஜ் தான் சரி, அப்போ தான் ஐ கேம் டு நோ சரி மியூசிக்கும் வந்து இங்கே வந்து மெட்ராஸில் வந்து பார்த்த பிறகு தான் ஈவன் ஐ வாஸ் தேர் இன் மை டவுன். ஐ டிடன்ட் கோ டு திருவையாறு ஈவன்.
Oh, you did?
So, yeah. So இங்கே ஆஃப்டர் கம்மிங் டு சென்னை only I came to know about மியூசிக் அகாடமி சபா, திஸ் சபா, திஸ் சபா. அங்கே போய் பார்க்குறச்சே ப்ரோக்ராமில் போகிறச்சே தான் யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி மச் இன்வால்வ் இன் மியூசிக். ஸோ தெர் இஸ் லாட் ஆஃப் ஸ்கோப் ஃபார் மியூசிக். We can do something with music itself. Actually, professionally,
you started getting more clarity.
Yeah, that's
as you started.
But the joy is
was there for the beginning. Was always there.
That's
interesting. So the exploration happened over time, but I think the idea of music being a core influencer for joy was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. I still want to understand. இப்படி இருக்கும்போது இவ்வளோ தெளிவாக இருக்கீங்க நீங்க that the compassionate ground la kadacha job is not me. அந்த தெளிவு உங்களுக்கு இருந்தது. சிவில் சர்வீசஸ் பண்ணணும், மியூசிக் பண்ணலாமே அப்படின்னு தெளிவு இருந்தது. எப்படி அந்த வேலையை நீங்க இவ்வளோ வருஷம் உங்களுக்கு பிடிக்காத ஒரு வேலையை எப்படி செஞ்சீங்க அப்படின்னு எனக்கு ஒரு கேள்வி இருக்கு. பட் we'll come back to your story after we go to Jagyaseni. Okay, let's continue with Jagyaseni's journey there. In your story, as I heard from you, you come to Chennai to learn from Professor C.V. Chandrasekhar, and you learn from him in 2 spells.
Yes.
Right? And 2 trips you come and you do your sessions with him. So there is a deep interest in learning from a master, the art form of Bharatanatyam. So it focuses me why you go and enroll at the Kuchipudi Art Academy. What prompted you to do that?
Yes.
And how was that experience, and why did you come back to Bharatanatyam?
For me, first of all, I wanted to get an exposure of what Chennai is, because I definitely knew, I used to do my homework, what is Bharatanatyam, checking out YouTube, reading articles on Bharatanatyam. I already knew the names of most of the dancers who were making it big sitting in Kolkata, and during that time, I wanted to get a first-hand experience of what Chennai is. I was doing my masters, and I told my mom that before I complete my masters, I'd like to live some time on my own and allow me to go and experience the world. So I was given around 20-25 days of permission. I came, I figured out under whom I wanted to. That again based on my research work. I wanted to learn from Professor C.V. Chandrasekhar. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience for me. The first day he just made me stand straight. That was my class for 45 minutes. Because stand straight. And we have something called the Natya Arambha. And all I had to do, and I think I will never go wrong in my life in Natya Arambha, because I was almost crying that day. And after that, nevertheless, I didn't give up. I was continuing. But however, in terms of practicality, to come all the time and without having anybody here to stay, expenses were a problem. So I needed a place to stay, and I wasn't working. So practically, it seemed during that time Kuchipudi Art Academy had done a workshop in Kolkata. That was the first time I even heard there was a dance called Kuchipudi. And they did a workshop. I wanted to join. I did a 10-day workshop there. After the workshop, they told me that why don't you come and learn? We had an institute here. I did some survey. I was interested. For me at that time, it was dancing. It really didn't matter. Dancing and being in Chennai. Well, if I had to move forward with dance, I had to make a mark in Chennai. I was very clear of that. And the freedom that I can get after my masters, I felt this was just the right time. I should hear it. Also, there is another aspect that because I was always playing table tennis, I was hoping that I am definitely going to do very badly in my masters, and let's move out from Kolkata before the results come out. So I was already in Chennai when the results came, and I came to know that I did really well.
And not just well, you topped the university.
Yes, but I did not. I think by then I was pretty sure, okay, fine, let me decide. I really need to make up my mind what I want to do. And dance was the call. I came here, joined Kuchipudi Art Academy because of financial, because they said you can stay there, eat, your food, accommodation, everything was sponsored for students. That's how they operate. And I said, fantastic. All I have to do is dance whole day, morning, evening. I just wanted to dance and this was the best place. However, at Kuchipudi Art Academy, they have a norm that you cannot step out of the academy. I wasn't very keen, but I wanted to go through it. I knew, it's not that I did not know. So 1 year, 8 months I was there. I went through dancing whole day, but I did not have an exposure of what is Chennai outside. Like,
you mean you didn't step out of the academy?
No, we did not have. Sometimes during Saturdays we were taken out for grocery shopping or whatever. But that's how they operated, and I think to some extent one should go through like that because you are completely immersed in dance. And I feel very confident even now when I think of Kuchipudi because I have done it so much. You know, not that I have 20 years of Bharatanatyam and 2 years of Kuchipudi. I can equate it. But I was not getting exactly what I wanted perhaps, and there was some craving in me that and some calling that no, this is not satisfying me. I need to move out. I need to really see what is happening. Cannot just keep dancing, you know. So I think there was a time, I feel, and that's what my teacher says as well, that there's a time for everything. And that was the right time. I moved out and thought of going back to Kolkata. However, when I was flying back, I didn't know exactly how to do, what to do, nothing. But I can recall that when the flight was taking off, it was still just above the runway, and I looked outside the window of the flight, and I said that Chennai, I'll be back, and I'll be back very, very soon. I had a small diary with me, which I had been carrying right from day one visit to Chennai, and I wrote in that diary, and I promised myself that I will be back in Chennai. I don't know how. I have to make it big.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is amazing. So, this is life. There is no way you can explain how Jagyaseni felt she was going to come back when her sense of restlessness with the way the academy functioned drew her out of there. There is absolutely no clarity of Lakshmi had not even come into your life at that time. So there's no clarity of how you will make Chennai your home, how you will be back, but you knew you will be back.
Yes, I think I wasn't scared of uncertainty.
You were not scared of
uncertainty. I was just ready. That is why human rights failed.
Okay, I have a question for you. I'm going to come back to you, but before that, we're going to take our customary midway quiz break. Okay, so are you all ready for the questions on my guests? Yes, people?
Yes.
Okay. If the question is too simple, people who are normally winning mugs, please wait and give others opportunity. And if we don't hear from the others, then you can go for your mugs. Okay? Just a request. Okay? But in the spirit of competition, everything is fair. And ultimately, the answer that I hear will be the final one. Okay? Which is, please go by my decision here. Too many people fighting for mugs sometimes. Okay? So my first question is on Jagyaseni. Please connect. If it's too simple, forgive me, I have another one, but I think I'll go with this one. Please connect Jagyaseni with the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. The Chicken Soup for the Soul, the book. Okay, please connect Jagyaseni Chatterjee with the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. That's a simple question. Geeta, Ati Rupa, Ati, Ramesh, go by the flow. No.
Adventure.
Not adventure. No. Jack. I almost gave the answer. Chicken soup for the soul. Yeah? You have to connect. You can't just give an answer. Connect Jagyaseni Chatterjee with Chicken Soup for the Soul series. No. Nobody gets the answer? So,
J and C.
yeah, J and C. Jagyaseni Chatterjee, Jack Canfield. You have to give the answer.
JNC.
Yeah, JNC. Yes, come, take your mark. Take your mark, take your mark. Ati is standing right here to grab the next mark. Okay? So, the chicken soup, sorry, I took it from you. You have to give it to her.
Thank you for the answer.
So my questions are pretty mocha, please forgive me. They are mocha because they are last minute questions. Jagyaseni Chatterjee, initials are J and C. The author of Chicken Soup for the Soul is Jack Canfield, J and C. That's how you connect. Okay. So now this one is for all of you people who, again, please give chance to other people. All of you who grew up watching television advertising with me should be able to get this answer right. Okay? Please connect Lalita, Dr. Lalita Santanam, with the Unilever brand Surf. Those who have already got a mug, don't answer. Yes? Huh? Lalita Ji? Lalita Ji, did you give the answer, Lalita Ji?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it to Dr. Chari there. Dr. Chari.
This might be a family.
Yeah. Lalita Ji is the right answer. If you all remember, thank you. So Ati, it stays in the family. It's, if you all remember the 1980s, and the popular advertisement for Surf was Lalita Ji, played by Kavita Chaudhary, which a very famous actor, Kavita Chaudhary, and that ad series was very, very, very popular. So that's the connection. So let's go on with our journey. Thank you. More questions coming up, more mugs to be won at the end of the conversation. So please stay tuned, stay focused, everyone. Yes. So let me ask you, how did you make your comeback? How did you, so you felt claustrophobic in the academy for your own reason, you left, but you said you'll be back. So two questions there. A, why, what about Chennai endeared you?
Right, so I went out. I came out of the academy. When I was in Calcutta, it took me just 10 days to be back to Chennai. During that 10 days, yes, I had my friends to discuss, and I was discussing with everybody, but no one knew I had already booked my ticket. And I was just taking advices and nodding my head, but in my mind I knew, because I knew if I start taking advices, some people will say stay back, some will say go. I had to make up my mind anyway. I had to take the decision. So I did not have any plans whatsoever. I broke an LIC that Ma was saving, and booked a hostel from Kolkata, booked a small dingy hostel in Besan Nagar. At that time I didn't know where is Besan Nagar or anything. I did not know. So I booked a hostel which gave me 2 months of accommodation with food, and I could stay there. So my lodging was assured, and I didn't have any plans whatsoever. I booked my flight tickets, and I assured my mother that there was somebody that I had come to know during my initial years, and the person would be helping me. I don't know, but today if Ma is watching, there was nobody, and she had no clue that I was all alone. But I came back again, and
This was in June 2012.
yes, June 2012.
Sorry, Jan 2012.
Jan 2012, December Jan, that Marbury, during the Marbury. So I came with very, very limited money, and I stayed in the hostel. Initially, I didn't know what to do because I was jobless. I knew that I had to get a job, but what job? I mean, I didn't have any clue what job with a human rights background. I was not a professional in any specialized course like get into a banking sector. Neither was I ready to do a full-time job. I didn't want anything to come between me and dance. And however, I started looking for jobs here and there, and there was around 2 weeks that it took me. What is interesting is that every time I wanted to make a decision, it has taken me very little time to take a decision. Some people might call it as restless, impatient, but well, that's how it has been. And I used to sit at Besan Nagar beach, watch the sky because I had very little money to spend, and I kept on writing. Then it struck me that there was somebody in Kolkata, she's also a dancer, and she had told me whatever it is, at one point when she saw me as a child, said that do not give up writing. I had no clue that I would turn out to be a writer, but that somehow echoed at some point, and I said, why not take up writing? That's the only thing probably I can do, and write in English. So I came back to the hostel and I found a paper. Interestingly, at that time there was an ad, a neighborhood paper wanted a food critic. That was the best thing that could happen to me at that time with hostel food, where I would get paid to eat and have non-vegetarian food, nice kebabs and everything, tandoori, whatever I wanted to eat. I could just pick and choose the restaurants I wanted to go there, eat, have fun, come back, write and get paid. So I started off with that and I moved on to, but again that was just for 1 or 2 months. I knew that, okay, I need to move forward. And every time I have been feeling that has been like a driving force to me. If I accomplish something even within a week, I'm like, I need to move forward, and that's impatient. So then I moved from the neighborhood paper within 2 months to a CD company that asked me to write content, children's academic. So I was just fine with that. I moved, that was a part-time job. I was still not sure where to dance, what to do, how to take it forward. I knew, okay, I need to earn, have some bit of bank balance. All this happened and finally I landed up with a newspaper job.
That's how the journey happened in coming back.
Absolutely.
I think you need to touch upon that time when you were just left with 17 rupees. We'll come back to you. But an important learning there, this is what Campbell means when he says doors will open. When you are following your bliss and you are broke and you have just the hostel food to rely on and you have your writing with you, then a food critic's opening coming up there is that door open. You get food and you get to use your writing. It won't come on a silver platter. Life's doors won't open in the most definitive fashion. You've got to look at them. You've got to grab the opportunity as long as you are operating in the zone of your bliss. That's what we pick up from her story. Let's go back to Lalita's story and ask her for how did she keep that job which she did not quite like. Family, okay.
Family survival. அதுக்கு ஏர்னிங் வாஸ் வெரி மச் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அது பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும். எவ்ரிஒன் ஷுட் கெட் செட்டில்ட். அது வரைக்கும் நம்ம பண்ணணும்.
அந்த உறுதியோட இருந்தீங்க.
ஆமாம், டெஃபினட்டாக அது மஸ்ட்டு தானே. இப்போ வந்து அவங்க இப்போ இருக்கிறதுல போகிறாங்க, பட் காட்ஸ் கிரேஸ் எனக்கு அந்த தாட் வரல. அப்போது அதுதான் தட் இஸ் த வில்லேஜ் லைஃப். வில்லேஜில் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஒரு எல்லாருமே ஒரு அந்த ஃபேமிலி தான் அவங்களுக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு. அது வந்து எனக்கு சென்னை வந்த பிறகும் அந்த திங்கில் ஆக்சுவலி நான் வந்து ஒரு ஏர்னிங் மெம்பர் தான். என்னோட எல்டர் சிஸ்டர் தான் ஷி ஒன்லி ஒரு ஃபேமிலி. ஷி வாஸ் டேக்கிங் கேர் ஆஃப்டர் மை ஃபாதர். நாங்கள் சேலரி ஏர்ன் பண்ணி கொண்டு அவர்கிட்ட கொடுத்தோம். அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருந்தோம். ஸோ 20 years
குடும்பத்துடைய ஹெட்டா அவங்க இருந்தாங்க.
ஆமாம், ஷி வாஸ் ஆல்சோ ஏர்னிங். பட் யார் ஏர்ன் பண்ணாலும் அவங்களுக்கு சிங்கிள் ஹேண்டட்
கிராமத்து கலாச்சாரம்.
It's
a very strong value system.
அது இன்னொரு அடுத்த தலைவரை தேர்ந்தெடுத்துட்டா போல, அந்த குடும்ப தலைவர் இறந்தாச்சுன்னா அடுத்த தலைவர் மாதிரி. It was really good. Now we are in good position. அதுதான் ரீசன் நினைக்கிறேன். ஸோ தட் கமிட்மெண்ட்
உங்களுடைய சந்தோஷம் கூட நீங்க வந்து சைட்ல தள்ளி வச்சு ஃபேமிலியை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ரிஃபரன்ஸ்
இல்ல, அப்படி சந்தோஷம் சொல்ல முடியாது. கிடைக்கிற டைம்ல நான் என்ன என்ஜாய் பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருந்தேன். எனக்கு அந்த மியூசிக் லேர்ன் பண்றது அதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். பட் நீங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி லைக் அது வந்து ஒரு ரெஸ்ட்லெஸ் மாதிரி மிச்ச பேருக்கு இருந்திருக்கும். டெஃபினட்டா எல்லாருமே அப்படிதான் கேட்பாங்க. அந்த டைம்ல என்ன இந்த ஏஜ்ல ரெஸ்ட்லெஸ்ஸா இருக்க என்ன அப்படின்னு. பட் என்னோட மைண்ட் வந்து ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் நடுவில் பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணும்போது அந்த ஒரு டென்ஷன் இருந்துட்டே தான் இருந்தது. டெஃபினட்டா.
ஸோ ஒரு பக்கத்துல உங்களுக்கு எது திருப்தியை கொடுக்கிறது அது மியூசிக்.
ஆமா
அது
அதுல
pursue
பண்ணனும்.
பட் ஃபேமிலி கமிட்மென்ட்காக you have to keep a job.
அது 9 to 5 டைம் ஃபுல்லா அதுல போய்டும். அந்த டென்ஷன் இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும்.
ரைட்.
சோ அந்த கம்போஸ் பண்றது, மியூசிக் கிடைக்கிற லஞ்ச் டைம்ல கொஞ்சம் அந்த பாடி எல்லாம் பார்க்க முடியாது. பட் மைண்ட் will work on that.
Obviously you would compose.
Yeah, mind will work on that. அது யாரு even I cannot resist myself. அது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா will go. அது திங்கிங் அது அப்படியே தான் இருக்கும். எனக்கு என்னோட டீச்சர் ஒன் ஆஃப் மை டீச்சர்ஸ் டெல் மீ திங்க் அபவுட் மியூசிக் தட் இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் எனஃப். அந்த இன்னைக்கு ஒரு நாளைக்கு ஒரு 1 hour திங்க் பண்ணியிருந்தா கூட போகிறோம். நீங்கள் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ண முடியாட்டா.
That's a very valuable advice. You know, I think we sometimes compartmentalize what we love and push it away so much that it becomes often hard to retrieve it. Because there are so many layers that have formed because of our relationship issues, everyday survival issues, pressures, and sheer inertia. So think about music. I think very, very powerful idea. Think about your bliss. Even if you can't actualize it, if you can't go to work on it, bring it to your forefront of your consciousness. Bring it up and keep looking at it, and the door will open. So உங்களுக்கு இந்த PhD பண்ணணும், ரெண்டு கேள்வி இருக்குது. ஒன்று வந்து PhD 2007ல நீங்க போய் என்ரோல் பண்ணீங்க, டீச்சிங் மெத்தட்ஸ் இன் ராகா ஆலாபனா. அப்படின்னா நீங்க வந்து அந்த ஃபீல்டில் you had understood to that level that you could actually explore the teaching methods. So almost ஒரு 17-18 years கத்துட்டு இருப்பீங்களா நீங்க மியூசிக்? அதுக்குள்ள 15 years நீங்க கத்துக்கிட்ட அப்புறம் நீங்க அந்த PhD அட்டெண்ட் பண்றீங்க. பட் PhD ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி 2வது வருஷம் நீங்க வேலையை விட்டுறீங்க. ஓகே, 2009ல நீங்க வேலையை விட்டுறீங்க. ஸோ எப்படி ப்ரீ பிளான்? அதுதான் எனக்கு புரியல உங்க ஸ்டோரியில. எப்படி அது மியூசிக் PhD செய்ய ஆரம்பிச்ச பிறகு நீங்க வேலையை விடணும்னு முடிவு பண்ணீங்களா, இல்லை முதலே முடிவு பண்ணீங்களா?
ஆக்சுவலி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட், எனக்கு தம்பி வரைக்கும் மேரேஜ் ஆகிட்டு அவன் செட்டில் ஆகணும். அது ஒரு பாயிண்ட். அது வந்து எனக்கு அந்த டைம் முடியாது. அது ஒரு 18 இயர்ஸில் முடிஞ்சது. அண்ட் 20 இயர்ஸில் நான் வந்து ஒர்க்கை வந்து அப்போ தான் நான் வந்து டிஆர்எஸ் வாங்கலாம்.
ஓகே.
10 இயர்ஸில் வாங்கினா ஐ குட் நாட் கெட் பென்ஷன். ஸோ 20 இயர்ஸ். அண்ட் எனக்கு 10 இயர்ஸில் விட்டனாலும் என்னோட ஃபேமிலி வந்து பாதியில் நடக்கும். பிகாஸ் மை யங்கர் சிஸ்டர் அண்ட் யங்கர் பிரதர் இன்னும் செட்டில் ஆகுது. ஸோ என்னோட 18th இயரில் தான் நான் பிரதர் வரைக்கும் எல்லாம் மேரேஜ் ஆகிடுச்சு, செட்டில் ஆகிடுச்சு. ஸோ ஒரு 1 இயர் சும்மா போயிருந்தேன் ஆஃபீஸ்க்கு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. 20th year.
So that was already planned in your head.
Yeah, definitely.
I am going to quit.
அதுக்கப்புறம் அதில் இருந்து என்னோட டைம் போயிடும், ஃபுல்லாக போயிடும். What else will be there? எனக்கு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஏர்னிங் தேவையில்லை. ஃபேமிலி எவ்ரியோன் இஸ் செட்டில். எனக்கு ஏர்னிங் தேவையில்லை அதுக்கப்புறம்.
ஸோ அந்த கிளாரிட்டி உங்ககிட்ட முதல்ல இருந்து இருக்கு.
Yeah, definitely.
And did music help you take that difficult decision? உங்களுடைய கலீக்ஸ் உங்களை ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணலையா இருக்கலாமே? வாட் அபவுட்
ஆக்சுவலி
உங்களுடைய பாசஸ்
இந்த பரமசிவன் பாம்பு மாதிரியே ஐ வாஸ் இன் ஹையர் போஸ்ட் ஒன்லி. ஐபிஎஸ் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் கூட தான் எனக்கு அந்த கான்வர்சேஷன்ஸ் ஒர்க் அந்த ஃபைல்ஸ் எல்லாமே அவங்களோட தான் நான் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஆக்சுவலி ஐபிஎஸ் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் ட்ரைனிங் தான் நான் பார்த்தது. ஸோ என்னோட கான்வர்சேஷன் அது எல்லாமே அந்த லெவலில் தான் இருக்குது. பட் இந்த ஒரு இதுதான் எனக்கு வந்து நம்ம என்ன நினைக்கணும் செய்யணும்னு நினைக்கிறோமோ தட் ஷுட் பி டன் அட் த ஏர்லியஸ்ட். இதுக்கு மேலேயும் இதுக்காகலாம் உட்காந்துருக்கக்கூடாது. இது இப்போது ஆஃபீஸருக்கு நான் வந்து அந்த ஆஃபீஸர் தான் அந்த பரமசிவன் கழுத்து பாம்பு ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் கிட்ட நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறதுனால எனக்கு சல்யூட் பண்ணுவாங்க. பட் தட் சல்யூட் இஸ் நாட் ஃபார் மீ, தட் இஸ் ஃபார் மை போஸ்ட். அதனால எனக்கு அதில் இஷ்டம் இல்லை. எல்லாரும் அதுதான் சொன்னாங்க, இவ்வளோ ஒரு நல்ல ஜாப்ல இருக்குது. ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் கேட்டாங்க, ஏமா அந்த மாதிரி விட்டுட்டு போறீங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஏன்னா
ஃபேமிலியில் என்ன சொன்னாங்க? இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நாள் சொன்னாங்க ஃபேமிலியெல்லாம் கேட்டாங்க.
இல்லை, ஒரே தடவை என்னோட பிரதர் வந்துட்டு ஐ வாஸ் ஒர்க்கிங் அரவுண்ட் த்ரோட் நைட்டு முடிச்சு 4 o'clock வந்தார் என்னை பிக் பண்ணுறதுக்கு. சிஎம்மோட மெடல் பரேடு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லி ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் மெடல் கொடுக்குற ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு. தட் வாஸ் கோயிங் ஆன் அப் டு ஏர்லி மார்னிங் 4 o'clock. அப்போ சொன்னார், நீங்கள் இந்த ஜாப் ஒன்றும் உனக்கு க்ரோ இனிமேல் எடுத்துக்கு தேவையில்லை, நான் தான் வேலைக்கு போக ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேனே அப்படி சொன்னார். சரி, ஐ தாட் ஓகே, இவன் மைண்டில் இது வந்தாச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஆக்சுவலாக எங்கள் அம்மாவுக்கு அது இஷ்டம் இல்லை தான். பட் எல்லாருமே நினச்சது என்னென்னா, இவளுக்கு ஒரு ஏர்னிங் இருக்குது, கவர்மெண்ட் ஜாபு அது வேணும், அதான் அந்த மணி வந்து ஒரு ரொம்ப முக்கியம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி. எனக்கு அது போகிற அளவுக்கு இருந்தால் போகிறோங்கிற என்னோட எண்ணம். அதனால போதும்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கு.
So there are a couple of very interesting things she says. One, that her sense of restlessness with the job helped her keep the plan intact. She was clear once the family settled down, she would quit her job. And two, her sense of contentment. The rest let my music take me forward, right? And the clarity of the I'd like to ask you one more question, but I'll go to Jagyaseni quickly and come back to you. We left you at the point where you took up writing to support yourself. How did you manage that time when there was virtually no cash and you had still not found Lakshmi? So how did you find your guru, or did your guru find you? So how did you navigate that phase of complete, if I may call, uncertainty and darkness?
Yes.
Did you not, let me articulate this, often self-doubt creeps in. You know, please note this. நீங்க எடுத்த முடிவுகள் சிலப்போ உங்களை வந்து it will come to haunt you. Self-doubt will come to haunt you. So did self-doubt come and haunt you? Have I not done the wrong choice of coming to Chennai? Look at me, I'm broke, I have no money.
Not at all. Not at all at that time. I think self-doubt happens to me now, but not then. Now, when I want to really do very well and really want to make my teacher happy for all that she has done. But at that time, 17 rupees, I had nothing else to lose. And the only thing, as I said, I would always walk to the beach every day at 4 o'clock and sit there as long as I could stay. So I would only think of Tagore's where the mind is without fear, because I have grown up. I've grown up in a land where poetry was solace, where poetry and religion are similar. I had nothing to lose, and I would read a lot at that time. And the only thing that I knew was I had to come out of it anyway. I am not giving up. I was extremely determined. And I am not telling anybody that I was in trouble. I am not calling my mom, because she would either come home here and come here and take me, which I was not at all ready. And I think somewhere I fear to lose, to tell people that I could not make it and I am broke and I am going to go back. So everybody is going to laugh at me and say, see, she came back, why did she even go and waste her whatever years? I think I was too egoistic to face that. And I knew I had to fight it out. So I found it was very difficult, but reading, poetry, everything kept me alive. Tagore kept me alive. And very soon I was able to come out of it somehow. I have been very lucky that every time I was in trouble, I have had great people come at some point, some way, and helped me out, and I have moved forward in leaps.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. You're lucky, and I think that's an understatement. You're blessed would be the more appropriate thing to say, because you in some time that material test which was imposed on you made way for other tests to come in, but the material test made way. So the imposition of that grave situation of no money and having to last that time kind of made way, kind of paid.
Absolutely. And off. I think coming to your second question that you
I'll just elaborate on this point and then we'll come back to that question. In my case, it was Vani who stood by me completely, and I've been through self-doubt myself. Sometimes you come so close to your guilt that you feel that the choices you made were avoidable, and you hold yourself responsible for that. That's a very difficult place to be in, and all through that time she stood by me. And in our case, particularly for Vani and me, that phase of material distress has prolonged and prolonged and prolonged and has refused to go away. Yet, in its refusing to go away, we found meaning in our life. And that's the beauty of life, that one department is shut, another always opens. That's what I've learned. So I want to ask you the second question: how did you meet Lakshmi, and how did that door open, this door of compassion, this door of opportunity, this door of grace?
Yes, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I'm pretty sure that's the best thing that probably I would say till the end of my life, that moment. I came across the fact that Madras University is offering a master's in Bharatanatyam while I was working. And so I just dropped by to the university. That is where I met this lady, extremely long hair and beautiful, confident. And she had her sari is very well fitted. That's something that I adored right from my childhood at my nursery school, and I would come back home and tell my mother, I really loved this teacher because her sari was very well. She wore the sari extremely well. So I think it is somewhere to get back to my childhood days and my childhood teacher whom I used to adore. So I went and spoke to her, and the very moment I spoke to her, I knew, I don't know, I just knew that I had to learn from her. I was very sure. And because of my journalism, I did meet a lot of gurus, a lot of teachers, and in conversations through some programs. But this lady whom I had seen at that time, who said, if you want to learn, you will have to do a full-time course. And it's up to you to make your choices, however you want to take it forward. I went back home, dropped my job the very next day, enrolled for Masters in Bharatanatyam.
Wow. You dropped the job that was paying you.
I dropped the job.
So how did you think of your material life?
I did not think that's why. I think sometimes restlessness pays. Impatient pays. But I was very sure. I think there is something in me that said that I want to be under her. I want to learn from her, and I want to see where it takes me. I was not sure where to go at that time or anything, because already I was out of dance, I was out of touch, I was working. But I don't know, I just give the entire credit to her. She might have done some magic, and I felt that I must do it. And so I joined, I was doing the course in Madras University, but I wasn't sure that I would be, because initially I was trained by Professor C.V. Chandrasekhar, which is Kalakshetra style. I wasn't very sure that I would really change my style. So it took me some time, about a year. In 2015, I joined Dr. Lakshmi Ramaswamy's Art Dance Institute, Sri Mutralaya, which is in Kottapuram, and it's been a fantastic journey.
And you picked up your masters in Bharatanatyam in
Yes, meanwhile, 2016. Yes, 2016.
See, what happens when we go through a dark phase, and when you know that there is a way out, you learn to listen to your inner voice. This comes very intuitively to all of us. I think navigating through a dark phase, many people ask us, how have you been doing this for 10 years now? How do you go through a dark phase? You learn to last for the moment. You learn to last for the day. It's like the headlights of a car in the darkness of the night. It can't show you the whole road. It can't show you the destination. But as long as the headlight is carrying you forward, you trust the headlight and keep driving. So that's what I'm picking up from your thing. That where is it going to come from? How is it going to happen? These questions are irrelevant. Are you happy? Are you happy with the journey? Move forward with it. I want to ask you on that note of happiness, I want to ask you, when you were in the work of police department, superintendent of administration, the treasurer schools, appo music meant different to you, okay? But வேலையெ விட்டப்புறம் இப்போ PhD வாங்கினப்புறம் டாக்டர் லலிதா சந்தானம் அப்படிங்கிற உங்களுக்குன்னு லலிதாக்குன்னு கொடுக்கப்பட்ட ஒரு பட்டம். Okay, it is not on compassionate grounds, it's not on anything else. It is for you. இன்னைக்கு மியூசிக்னா உங்களுக்கு என்ன? What does it mean to you? And இந்த மியூசிக்கை வச்சுக்கிட்டு நீங்க ஏதாவது சாதிக்கணும் செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு ஆசைப்படுறீங்களா? இல்லை மியூசிக்குங்கிறது உங்களுடைய ஓன் பர்சனாலிட்டியில் இணைஞ்ச ஒரு இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸாக நீங்கள் பார்க்குறீங்க?
ரைட், என்னோட பர்சனாலிட்டியில் ஃபுல்லாக அதுவும் சேஞ்ச் வந்தது தான். பட் அது வந்து when I was working, it was learning process. இப்போ ஆஃப்டர் கெட்டிங் த டாக்டரேட் இந்த நான் என்ன செய்யணும்னு நினச்சேனோ அந்த ஆஃப்டர் அந்த பை த்ரூ த சிவில் சர்வீசஸ் அதை இப்போ த்ரூ மியூசிக் ஐ எம் டூயிங். இந்த சோஷியல் சேஞ்சஸ், ஒரு ரெவல்யூஷன் கொண்டு வரணும், இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு இருந்தது. அதெல்லாம் இப்போ நான் கட்டாயம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் த்ரூ மியூசிக். திருக்குறள், அந்த நாலடியார், இதெல்லாம் என்னை ரொம்ப சின்ன வயசுல மீனிங் ரொம்ப அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு அதுதான் எனக்கு நல்ல ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ், செல்ஃப் கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் எல்லாமே கொடுக்குது. அந்த ட்ரூத்தோட வேல்யூ அதை வந்து குழந்தைங்களுக்கு கட்டாயம் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டா இப்போ என்னோட லைஃப் தான் நான் எக்ஸாம்பிளாக இருக்கேன். சின்ன வயசுல விளையாடிட்டாலும் அந்த ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரென்த்து நான் வந்து 25 இயர்ஸ்ல மியூசிக் கற்றுக்க ஆரம்பித்தா கூட அந்த மியூசிக் ஃபீல்டில் சென்னையில் போய் எங்கே கேட்டாலும் அந்த ஏஜ் சொல்லி எல்லாரும் பண்ண முடியாது, இனிமேல் எப்படி கற்றுக்க அப்படிலாம் சொன்னாங்க. அதனால தான் இந்த டாப்பிக்கே சூஸ் பண்ணேன். பட் வி கேன் டூ, ஏஜ் இஸ் நாட் அ பவர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு மியூசிக்லேயே ஹையஸ்ட் லெவல் இஸ் ஆலாபனா. அந்த ஆலாபனா ஏன் அதை எப்படி டீச் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறத ரிசர்ச் டாப்பிக்காக எடுத்து இம்ப்ரூவ் ஒரு காலேஜ் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷனல் ஸ்டடீஸில் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷனல் மியூசிக் போய் அவளுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுத்து அந்த ஒரு 10 days ஒர்க் ஷாப்பில் தே வில் சிங். அதாவது அந்த ஒரு என்ன சொல்கிறது ஜஸ்டிஃபிகேஷன் கொடுக்குறோம். இஃப் தே கெட் அ டிகிரி தே ஷுட் பி ட்ரூத்ஃபுல்லி தே ஷுட் பி குவாலிஃபைடு அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக அவளுக்கு அதை கொடுக்கணுங்கிறதுக்காக ஐ experimented with college students and growth. ஸோ அது பண்ணி அது வந்து என்னை வந்து இந்த ஏஜுக்கு அப்புறம் மியூசிக் கற்றுக்க வந்திருக்கியா அப்படின்னு வந்து என்னை டிஸ்கரேஜ் பண்ணவாளுக்கு அது அந்த டாக்டரேட் டாபிக் அது ஓவர். பட் ஆஃப்டர் தட் இதை வச்சுட்டு நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம், டீச்சிங் மியூசிக், திருக்குறள், நாலடியார், இதெல்லாம் கிளாசிக்கல் டியூனில் குழந்தைகளுக்கு மீனிங்கோட சொல்லி கொடுக்குறேன். ஸோ அவளுக்கு இப்போ சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டு அவளுக்கு அதோட மீனிங் கிடைச்சாச்சு அப்படின்னா அவளுக்குன்னு ஒரு 6th ஸ்டாண்டர்டுக்கு அப்புறம் தே வில் திங்க் ஆன் தேர் ஓன். அப்போ அவள் வந்து அவளோட ஹானஸ்டாக அவளோட ரூட் அவள் தே கேன் டேக் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ்.
ஸோ குழந்தைகளுக்கு இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் செய்யறது வந்து யூ ஆர் ஒன்லி கிவிங் தெம் an exposure. இப்படி இந்த மியூசிக்கில் இதெல்லாம் பாசிபிலிட்டிஸ் இருக்குது.
No, not only exposure. The meaning of life is taught through music.
Is taught through. Beautiful.
Otherwise, if a கூப்பிட்டா அவளுக்கு theoretically நம்ம எதாவது சொன்னோம்னா they will not listen to us.
Right. So music மூலமா சொல்லி கொடுத்தீங்க.
Musicனா they are interested. First பாட்டை சொல்லி கொடுத்துறது, அப்புறம் இதுக்கு என்ன மீனிங், அதுக்கு என்ன மீனிங் தெரியுமா அப்படி கேட்கறது. இப்போ அதை சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டோம்னா அவர் அது definitely they are going to face everything what we faced. அப்போ அவளுக்கு they can take என்னென்ன வேணுமோ உங்களுக்குள்ள ஸ்டாக் இருக்க எடுத்து அப்ளை பண்ணி.
ஸோ எத்தனை ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க?
அரௌண்ட் 60.
ஓகே. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு நீங்கள் இந்த லெவல் நீங்கள் ரீச் பண்ணியிருக்கிறது டாக்டர் லலிதா சந்தானம் வித் டாக்டரேட் இன் மியூசிக், அதில் நீங்கள் ஃப்யூச்சரில் என்ன செய்யலாம்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? Do you want to, is there something to achieve, is there something to prove to the world that although I am a late starter, I have done this, அப்படிங்கிற ஏதாவது முயற்சியில் இருக்கீங்க?
People want to listen to my music, I will sing. Otherwise,
Beautiful. I think she's too simple. You know, she's too grounded. Why I ask that question is many people feel there has to be a pursuit of something. If you're not pursuing something, you're not ambitious, then you're a failure. You know, you got to be successful. You got to prove to the world. That's particularly the reason why I asked the question. Because almost 20 years of her life, she dedicated it to supporting the family. And somebody coming from that kind of a situation can possibly hold this view that I missed 20 years, so I got to go and prove to the world who I am. That's why Campbell says, follow your bliss. He doesn't say pursue your bliss. any form of pursuit, where is my friend any form of pursuit is often the source of all suffering. Following is a more sublime way of believing in the journey, that the journey is the reward. That's the essence of what I'm getting from what you said just now. If anybody calls me to sing, I will sing. Otherwise, I'm happy teaching. So there is nothing to prove, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. It's the joy within, right? That's a great state to be. That's a great state to be in. எங்களுக்கு கேட்பாங்க, எதுக்கு Bliss Catcher பண்றீங்க, எதுக்கு இந்த டெய்லி பிளாக் எழுதுறீங்க, எதுக்கு இந்த டாக்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்றீங்க, ஃப்ரீயா பண்றீங்களா, இதெல்லாம் சம்பாதிக்கவே கிடையாது, எப்போ நீங்க உங்க கடன்லாம் திருப்பி கொடுக்க போறீங்க, எங்களுக்கு கேட்பாங்க. வேலை வந்தா செய்வோம், வேலை வரலையா இதை செய்வோம். சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கணும்ங்கிறது உலகத்தினுடைய எதிர்பார்ப்பு. சக்சஸ் வரலன்னா யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும், அதுதான் இப்படி செய்யணும். கரெக்டா? Thank you. I'm glad I picked it up. So 2 quick questions to both of you. Okay, we are a little out of time, so I'm not sure how we're going to do the audience questions. The journeys were very interesting, so I went this way. But please bear with us. 2 quick questions. If you have to describe your journey so far, in the experience here, in the வாழ்க்கையுடைய the பழனத்தை நீங்க explain பண்ணுவோம், how will you explain it? Surkama, if you want to talk about your following your this.
A simple composition of me.
Go right ahead, sure.
நான் என்னோட லைஃப்ல என்ன அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேனோ, I think it is truth, universal truth, I think. அதுதான் இப்போ குழந்தைங்களுக்கும் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கேன். It's very important, I think. So I just want to share. சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய் என் அன்பே, சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய் என் அன்பே, சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், எந்த செயலையும் செய்யும் முன்னே நீ சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், எந்த செயலையும் செய்யும் முன்னே நீ சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், தாயும் தந்தையும் உடன் பிறந்தாரும் உன் தன்னலம் நீங்கிடவே, தாயும் தந்தையும் உடன் பிறந்தாரும் உன் தன்னலம் நீங்கிடவே, செய்யும் சிறப்பும் சேர்ந்தவரும் உன்னை செவ்வழிப்படுத்தவே, செய்யும் சிறப்பும் சேர்ந்தவரும் உன்னை செவ்வழிப்படுத்தவே, குழந்தை பருவம் அது நித்தமும் குதூகலம் அதற்கே, குழந்தை பருவம் அது நித்தமும் குதூகலம் அதற்கே, குமரப்பருவம் அது முழுமையா புத்தியை கூர்மையாக்குவதற்கே, குமரப்பருவம் அது புத்தியை கூர்மையாக்குவதற்கே, அடுத்த பருவம் அது நன்னெறியில் நாட்டை ஆழ்வதற்கே, முதுமை பருவம் அது முழுமையாய் பிரார்த்தனை செய்வதற்கே, உலகிற்காக பிரார்த்தனை செய்வதற்கே, உந்தன் பிறவிக்கும் அர்த்தம் ஒன்றுண்டதை சிந்தை இருத்திடுவாய், உந்தன் பிறவிக்கும் அர்த்தம் ஒன்றுண்டதை சிந்தை இருத்திடுவாய், வெறும் வம்புக்கும் சண்டைக்கும் வித்தாகிடும் அந்த வீண் பேச்சு நீக்கிடுவாய், வீண் பேச்சு நீக்கிடுவாய், சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய் என் அன்பே, சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், எந்த செயலையும் செய்யும் முன்னே நீ சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய், சிந்திக்க கற்றுக்கொள்வாய்.
Based on your life learning, what you learned. Okay, awesome. This is how you teach your children also, these kind of influences.
எல்லாருக்குமே அந்த காட் எல்லாம் என்ன இருக்கா இல்லையா, அந்த ஒரு urge இருக்கும் மைண்ட்ல. எவ்ரி ஹியூமன் பீயிங் they have that முதல்ல இப்போ நம்ம பாஸ்டையும் விட்டுருங்க, ப்ரெசன்ட் ஃப்யூச்சரையும் விட்டுருங்க. we don't have time to explain. அதெல்லாம் படித்தாதான் அதெல்லாம் புரியும். அந்த இதிகாசங்கள் அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப படிக்கணும். அதெல்லாம் நம்பலைன்னா சரி ஓகே விட்டுருங்க. இப்போ ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக டுடே வாட் இஸ் ஹேப்பனிங், அது எதுக்காக, யூ ஜஸ்ட் திங்க், அதுபடி போங்க. காட் இருக்காரா இல்லையா, அது உனக்கு என்னைக்கு எழுதியிருக்கோ அதை ரியலைஸ் பண்ணணும். அதனால நீ ஆர்கியூ பண்ணுறதுல டைம் வேஸ்ட் பண்ண வேண்டாம். தட் இஸ் மை
very nice, very good. Lovely, lovely. Your view of your journey so far?
Extremely exciting and blessed, I think. Blessed because I'd like to dedicate every moment. I mean, Dr. Lakshmi Ramaswamy has given me a new birth altogether. I feel like a child. I fight. I can express myself as a teenager. I at times feel I'm going through the adolescence period all over again, and I feel matured at times when I can take care of her, although she doesn't allow at all. But the fact that I have had an opportunity to come under the guidance of a person like her, I'm truly blessed, and I wish to serve her till the end of my life as much as is possible. And definitely what I want to do is to take forward her teaching to make Sri Mudralaya a bigger institute, so that more and more children, her wish to teach children. She's a selfless teacher. We have many people who learn from us, and she said she's a selfless giver. I want to take that forward. That is my mission. That is what I want to do now. I think the whole purpose of, wanting to become a dancer, stage, everything is there even now. But I think the goal is slightly tweaked, because I want to take it forward, definitely be known, make a mark, but make it through her words. That is what I want to take forward.
Very beautiful. This is awesome. What Jagyaseni just said is so real. All of us are taught, we are conditioned to become something. So all life is about striving hard, working hard to become something. And what she just explained is the power of being, just being. So if you just are, life will take care of itself. There's a beautiful Zen saying, sit quietly and the grass grows by itself. And that's what I pick up from her story and the way she summarized it. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we are out of time, so we are not going to have audience interaction this time. Please forgive me, you can interact with them offline when we close in another 7 minutes from now. But we'll quickly go to the quiz segment, where Jagyaseni will ask her first question to the audience, and the winner gets this beautiful mug. So all of you, your hands on the buzzers please. Yes.
Okay. My question to you is, which is the fifth Veda? We all know of 4 Vedas.
Rig Veda.
Natya Veda.
4 Veda.
Yes. Natya Veda.
Correct.
Yes, come forward. What's your name?
Ramya.
Ramya. Hi Ramya.
Wonderful, Ramya.
She's a dancer, okay. So from a dancer to another dancer. Okay, Natya Veda. Thank you. I didn't know this. Thank you, Jagyaseni, for asking the question, and Ramya, thank you for answering that. Thank you. Your question, Lalita.
Who have formed the basic lesson structure of classical music? No.
Who has formed the basic lesson structure of classical music? Purandaradasa.
Actually, Purandaradasa, நமக்கு அவர் வந்து ஒரு கிருஷ்ணா டிவோட்டி, செயின்ட் அப்படிதான் தெரியும். பட் செயின்ட்லாமும் நமக்கு பின்னாடி வர்ற சந்ததியினருக்கு எப்படி பண்ணி கற்றுக்கணுங்கிறத திங்க் பண்ணி செஞ்சு வச்சுட்டு போயிருக்காங்க. விஷயம்
Music பிதாமகன் தான் எனக்கு தெரியும். He is the one who Saradi Varsa Janta Varsa எல்லாம் பண்ணவர்.
Yeah, that is the basic lessons, Saradi Varsa, Janta Varsa.
The basic lesson structure. So Lalita, what's your name? Sharada. So please give away the mug to Sharada. Enjoy your coffee tomorrow morning. Thank you. So that was fascinating. Good learnings. Both the answers. I was not aware of either answer. Thank you for asking those questions and for those beautiful answers from Ramya and Sharda. So we are almost closing in on the final stages of today's program. The way we will do it is we'll give away the coveted Bliss Catcher trophies to our two guests. Let me have Ashwin. Is Ashwin here? Oh, I am supposed to do it? You can do it. So we'll give away the Bliss Catcher trophy. These are very prestigious trophies. The Bliss Catcher trophy will come up for you, Lalita. We'll pass it to you. And Jagyaseni, here's your trophy. And I have here with me compositions by Lalita in the form of a CD and in the form of a book. 200 contributions. This is Sanskrit and this is in Tamil. Compositions that she's made herself. If you want to take a look, you can take a look here. I'm leaving them here. And in terms of drawing a summary from today's session, what I always like about my guests on the Bliss Catcher show is that they always leave me inspired. They give me a perspective to life which I pick up through the course of the conversation. And today what I picked up from Lalita is that you don't have to always be bitter about having missed something in life. I've often met people in life who have told me that, you know, I did this for my family. I sacrificed this for this person. I sacrificed half my life because of my situation. I'm ruined, I'm finished. There is a bitterness which is often there in the way they sound. You cannot find a trace of bitterness in Lalita. And I think that is my big takeaway. How she accepted her life for the way it was, and when she found the opportunity, you know, she opened the door. She moved in the direction of her bliss. That's my big takeaway. And Jagyaseni, what I'm picking up from her is that life sometimes will keep bringing you back again and again and again to where you belong. It's up to you to move in that direction. There are many people who have had opportunities, but they will fear walking in that direction because it's dark, it's unsure, nobody's gone there before, I don't know what will happen of me. But Jagyaseni dared and she walked. And together both their stories are very, very inspiring from the way they shared it. I wish we had more time to explore it, but I'll leave you all with a quote from Rumi. How can we end Bliss Catchers without Rumi? Ramesh is, vehemently supporting what I have to say. Thank you, Ramesh, and thank you, Geeta. So Rumi there for you. Rumi, Jalaluddin Rumi, my favorite poet, said, "Be aware of the pure wine being poured. Be aware of the pure wine being poured. Don't complain that you've been given a dirty cup." Many of us look at the cup. Cup was the bankruptcy. Somebody's cup could be a health challenge. Somebody's cup could be